Hi guys, how you all doing? It's nice seeing you all today. I know I haven't put the poll down yet. That's because fun things are happening next week, so I wanted to show you all the schedules first. Just in case that swayed your decisions or not. I think it's important to know what's coming in the week ahead, if it's going to change in any way. So, hi Vinewood, how are you doing today? I oh there. Um, okay. I don't know why that's there. Okay. Chat's choice will be remaining unchanged. However, Wednesday, instead of our usuals, on Wednesday and Friday, instead of our usuals, we have Dead by Daylight planned. And we also have Pearl World planned. So I just wanted to make sure you were all aware that was going to be planned next week. Just in case it changed what you decided on the streams for today's stream. So I shall start the poll now. So hi in. Oh. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you all saw that ahead of time. Okay, let's just check it. Here it is. A note to self, don't include wings on Sunday streams. It gets in the way of the schedule. Previous game, how many votes has there been? Only one. Okay. I'm assuming that's Yin then. Okay. Do we end it here or do we give someone else a chance to vote first? I think I know what that previous game is going to be. Okay. How long has it been? Only a minute. Huh. But, okay. We have a tie. Oh, here comes the problem. If I try to get someone else in to break that tie. If I try and get someone in to break that tie, it's going to become a three-way tie. You know that's the case. Okay. And I don't really have enough keeps in my private server to... Also, has Mox still not reacted in the server? Did you jump into... Well, did you just jump in to make it a tie? Also, good to see you here, Gold. I'm going to have to ask Ace and Patrick. I need a tiebreaker. Yeah, either Vinewood or Gold hasn't voted. I'm assuming it's Vinewood because we all know Yin has voted for Persona. Okay. I just nearly typed Ace's axe. No, that's not their name. I know asking for a tiebreaker is by this point just asking for calamity to fall upon me. Because we both know for a fact the first person to join is going to make this a three-way tie, aren't they? You just know that's going to be the case. Okay. Okay, let's see. I have Steam open just in case. Because that's pretty much where all my new games are. Okay. Where's Steam Labs? Here it is. Here we go. While we wait, let's just look through the options of new games that we have. And chat can scream out if any catch their attention. We have Ghost Trick, and I have every. It's fine, good. It's fine, gold. We have everything in the Ace Attorney line that's currently on Steam. I don't yet have Investigations because that's not on Steam for a few months. I also have Ghost Trick. I've got Cult of the Lamb. Which would be interesting. What even is this? I just got this free. 1 minute. I'm just looking at this. I'm just quickly looking at a game I got free. Oh, it's a puzzle game. When I bought Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice, and Ghost Trick, I got given a free game as part of a promotion. It's called Cats in Time. It's overwhelmingly positive. Just a little puzzle game. Neat. So yeah, oh, new game has been picked. So we've had 4 people in, and we've had 2 more people in, and it's been voted for new game. Okay, okay, 1 second, then start poll. Okay. What game? Okay. Okay. 1 minute, just next poll's being written out. Hi Patrick. 2 people joined in and answered, so you just missed it. We were on 1 for new game, 1 for previous game for the longest time, and then we suddenly got 2 votes for new game. Okay. Don't worry, there's about to be another vote. And what other games do I have? Yeah, we're about to pick the specific game. Ah, you're playing Cards Against Humanity again. What good games do I have in my list? Sod it. But you can only have 4 options per vote, so sod it, let's just go with this. Some nostalgia for some people. Potentially not nostalgia for others. Stat poll. Yes, I do just randomly have that in my game library, that last one. Yeah. I just have I have learned to fly free, and I have a pop. I think it's Papa's Freezeria. Oh god damn it, we've got a tie again. Yeah, you already announced what you picked, and I know what Gold has picked. Okay. Well, unfortunately, Yin, the second Learn to Fly isn't on Steam. Like, I don't have the option for that. It's just not on Steam. However, I believe there is a game mode where you can essentially play it, though. They have game modes. They have game modes for Learn to Fly 1 and Learn to Fly 2 as well. But obviously, Learn to Fly 3 is the main game mode. We're also at a stalemate yet again. Right when he leaves. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, at least I don't think it's on Steam. It wasn't on Steam last I checked. And I doubt that has changed. You intend to return to the void. Okay. I'll give it 3 minutes, and if there's not another vote by then we'll just go with Yin's choice. Which unfortunately means another bloody poll, because there's 4 games in that series. And I'm hoping to God you just pick the one with voice acting in. Because if you don't, that's gonna hurt my throat. Yeah, there's 4 games that, at least this is going off what Steam says, is part of the Ace Attorney franchise. The games in the Ace Attorney franchise, according to Steam, are Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, and Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. I've heard that Ghost Trick technically isn't in the franchise, but Steam does not care what we think is part of the franchise, of what the creators say is part of the franchise. Steam has decided that it is part of the franchise, so I have placed it as part of the franchise in my listings, because I have everything sorted by franchise. Just makes it easier. Okay. Yeah, at 20 past, we will pick at 20 past, if there's still only 2 votes, we will do yet another poll. There's so many I have to create. Okay. I'm just gonna start. Oh. I can't start setting it up. Damn. It would have been so much easier. Okay. Okay. I don't know, it depends. Because, like, Ace Attorney Chronicles is, like, rather self-contained as well, isn't it? Like, it's constrained within those 2 games, and the 2 games, either way, it's going to take longer than one stream for the entire plot to unfold. But at the end of the day, we're definitely not getting it all done in one stream, so, like, Ace Attorney Chronicles and the original Ace Attorney are both rather, like, self-contained. Apollo Justice is the only one that's, like, relevant on what came before it. Like, because Ace Attorney Chronicles is a really far in the past prequel. Okay, that has been 5 minutes and no additional votes, so... That's good. Okay. A lot of polls. Okay. Okay, I can't put that tag at the end. Okay. I mean, it's a blind reaction. It's, for the most part, it's going to be a blind reaction to Ace Attorney Chronicles as well. All I've done is the first case. Like, first 2 cases, actually. I've met Herlock Sholmes. I've met Herlock Sholmes. I have just badly misspelled Apollo. Apollo, I just put. Okay. Nope, he's lost. Yeah, I still haven't completed. I haven't completed the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So I want to quickly expose my bad writing there. I had to rewrite both Apollo and Phoenix's names then. Because I wrote Apollo, like, double P for some reason. And then, pretty much instantly, when I went to write Phoenix right, I wrote Phoenix Justice. Yeah. I caught myself before hitting send for both of them, but it's still funny. Like, I should have just gone with it in the first time. Okay. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles it is then. Okay, where is you? Okay. Oh. What? Okay. Okay. Why is this not full screen? What? Okay. Okay, that is a tad loud. And I can turn off music now. Yes, press any key. Options. Okay. Okay, there we go. Where is it? The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay. What? Why is it? Okay. Was very confused then. And Paul. Okay, here we go. Okay, where's it? Okay. English. Yes. Okay. Nope, not exit game. Can I control this with my controller? Yes, I can. Okay, let's start. Okay, Adventures is the first one. Gotta turn that down a tad, because that is louder than I expected.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, A push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Yeah.
The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Oh dear.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
I will probably be shouting at Ryunosuke a bit during this case. Because, he does some dumb things. I'm being honest, he does some dumb things this case. Oh, don't get me wrong, he is a good protag. He's just a bit of an idiot. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. I'm pretty sure in this bit they don't have voice acting, it's only in the trials. So I don't get that much of a vocal break, but it's better than nothing. How can it be that just beyond the door to this quaint little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? If I remember correctly, Ryunosuke's a nervous wreck. What? No, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. I don't think Ryunosuke is even capable of glaring at this point. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Fun fact about Naruhodo. That literally just means I see in Japanese. His name is Mr. I See. Yeah, just a fun fact about that. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. I meant outside of the trial, Yin. I'm pretty sure even outside of the trial, he's just, in general, a nervous wreck. 3 days ago, I somehow find myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. Oh, is this who I think it is? That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. But lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Actually, Japan has a guilty until proven innocent approach, so... Thank you, Mama Lilith. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh. Yes! Of course! Sorry! What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. Really, Kazuma? I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. I don't think I can do that laugh. Ha 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 ha! There you go again. Apologizing. Just like always. See, told you he's always a nervous wreck. Ah. Though, I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor, murdered in cold blood by a student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Hi, Mama Lilith. Lockdown. So chat, underlings. Did my mic pick that up out of curiosity, underlings? Mama Lilith's now just waiting at my door because she's curious as well. If it didn't pick it up, Mama Lilith just said in her best approximation of a Victorian orphan boy, "It wasn't me, sir." I love Mama Lilith, she's glorious. Now let me just actually grab the iced tea. Jesus, she gave me. Okay. Chair nearly fell over. Sorry about that, but also that was glorious. That Mama Lilith is glorious. I love Mama Lilith. Okay. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean? I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far cleverer than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. However, I get a feeling in the future one of your descendants will be holding the qualification in so much high praise. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Okay. Okay. I will try to remember to wait there, but 3 days ago. Yes. That's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura blowing around his temple. No, that is a ribbon. Ryosuke, that is not a mysterious aura, that is a headband. Or a head ribbon. Refer to it as you will. It is not an aura. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean, to see the real thing with my own eyes. Can we talk about the irony that in this world, England already has a jury system in this world? And yet, also in this same game series, I'm pretty sure Japan does not get it until Apollo Justice. The heart of the British Empire. Oh, no, wait, that's Ryunosuke. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. It is all truth. It is all truth. Then come with me. Do you want to grab that one as well, Ian, or? We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Not yet. Still got a few minutes before that, Vinewood. Still got a few minutes. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright. I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. That's your first mistake, Ryunosuke. Letting your alibi escape. Good idea. After all, it is not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class then. Tomorrow then, partner. Right, Roar. That is an impressive misspelling of Rightworth. Also, I'm pretty sure the fandom actually accepts their Japanese names for the ship name. So I believe even in the US, like, the ship name for him is still Narumitsu. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. God. Oh god, is this the principal or is this the principal's daughter? Oh god. I'm pretty sure last time I played this game, I got it wrong. And whichever it were, I gave the exact opposite voice. Asogi, may I have a word? Oh, it's both. Which of you was talking? Okay. It's Narumitsu. Like Naruhodo and whatever Edgeworth's name is. All I know is it involves Mitsu at some point. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Yes, that's it. Your advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? Isn't he like the principal? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go there at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yeah, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I am a professor of forensic medicine at Shumei University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Sogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you have no doubt heard, Sogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked, and he will never granted again. Can we just appreciate like the little thing, like the accessory on his chest? It is so fluffy. It is adorable. I like that accessory. It is so fluffy. I don't know what it's called, but I like it. What? Ah, as I suspected. You were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It is very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favourable of circumstances. Circumstances is what I tried to say. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand. Oh, that's because. You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right. So, as soon as the Sorry? As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. Oh, is Kazuma going to ask to marry me? Getting that joke out before Yin does. Getting that joke out before Yin. Oh yeah, I heard Gold mentioning that. I don't remember her name, but I do. But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! I can't keep the consistent voice for the bailiffs. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. I don't know what voice I've given the bailiffs. If to see him as... surreptitious. If to see him as repetitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course. As the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. I still don't know what voice I'm doing here. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. A deadly class trial. Sorry. 22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicia, Courtroom 2. He looks so nervous! So this is the courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicia. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. I gave it a minute. A few minutes. Like 5 minutes at most. Fine one. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ouchie. Ouchie.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. I always just give Winston Payne or Ouchie the most ridiculous voice I could think of. I once literally used the max of my high pitchedness to voice him. Winston Payne's name was literal in that situation. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That is correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it! This must be the question! Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Answer I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear. He's absolutely terrified. It's glorious. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? I need a quick drink of this tea. Much better. Professor Mikotoba told me everything. Just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad will be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? Okay, Yin, do it. Do it, Yin. Okay. Well, that's enough time for you to get it. No, it's not that really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you, Ryunosuke, buddy. In the off chance that things don't go well for you, Kazuma will be personally breaking you out of prison. I can guarantee it. Like, have you met the man? Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. And you know I'd make a valid point about Kazuma. If he did get sent to jail here, Kazuma would absolutely be breaking Naruhodo out of prison immediately. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well. Keep changing his voice as well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really? Until the next trial, Ian, at least. Until the next trial.
Objection!
There it is, Vinewood. There it is, Vinewood. You've got your objection. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent. He's confident he can speak for himself. Kazuma, I would advise you look to your left before saying that. Have you looked at the defendant? Did you look at the defendant before claiming he's confident? Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's completely blank. You really are Phoenix's ancestor. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Ow! Trying to make that noise then. I don't even know if the mic picked it up, but for some reason that just hurt the top of my mouth.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court.
You must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. Holy fuck. Damn it, there was a bug on my neck. You know, it's bouncing around on my blanket. There you go. Sorry, that should be gone. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency? It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you've undertaken. Who is the victim of this case?
Me?
I just remember that from the first state's attorney. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. Fair.
Hey, Morty.
So, let's start with the simplest of questions. Oh, yes? Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of the right bumper. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that, and it's all in there. I just have to press right bumper for the court record. Alright. There's no time to lose. Oh, yeah. Wrong button. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with right bumper. Okay. You'll find details about the victim here. When you're done, press B to go back. John H. Wilson, victim of this case, is visiting professor of medicine at Jumei University from the British Empire. Takesuchi Auchi! I still just love that name! Named prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the cultural reformation has brought about. Yujin Mikotaba. Okay, Takeuchi Auchi absolutely dyes his hair. Either that or Mikotoba is just really stressed out because he looks older than John. Kazuma's 23. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press Y to present. Try it now. Okay.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
You say that, but, Pikotoba. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to UMay University 3 years ago. Indeed. Which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. Okay. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together, after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. 3, 5, 4, thumb. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Ah.
You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial UMay University. Are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. To be fair, Kazuma, Ryunosuke did not make that hard. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes. Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. We get it, game! But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright. I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it is not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. But the British Empire, wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table. And I introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? How did this Professor of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows that the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Yes!
Yes.
Well, according to this document, the sick victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it?
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects their body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a
so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion.
1 minute. Audio. Okay.
In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Thank you, Counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. A photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So, that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appease the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? What do you mean? Do you mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be Greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. I don't think he can stop the headband moving. I think it just does that.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
What voice do I give? What do I give this voice? What guy do? What guy do I give this voice? Okay, brain, take a minute. Think. Okay, what voice do I give this guy? I don't know. Of course. My name is Satoru Sonaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western style restaurant called La Carnival. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It is a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. The scream cry occurred at one of the district's so-called restaurants. An Occidental eatery. 3 days ago.
Understood, Hosonaga-san. You will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, aspiring maybe. Was aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at that. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, just let me clarify something here. Well, I did pick up the gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor. Why? First off, Ryunosuke, why? No, seriously, why? I didn't shoot him!
Objection!
See, even the game agrees that he has Aoshi has an annoying voice.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what you saw, you amateur. Of what he saw. I'm an amateur here.
But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defended Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here today in court?
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university students. Huh? Wait. What did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... Okay. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not someone the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting. But still, what should I do? Do we interject, I think?
Yes!
Objection. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this Miss Student, is not a real lawyer at all?
He's not a real lawyer. He never claimed to be a lawyer. But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you would like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout, drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. This? Okay. This makes no indication of who sat where. It indicates here is where the crime happened. But no, these are just chairs. This does not signify where anyone was sat at all. It doesn't signify where Ryunosuke was. It doesn't signify where any of the other witnesses were. This does not signify anything other than where John Wilson was killed, and also where the kitchen is, and also when the tables and chairs are. It doesn't make any it does not make any distinction of where anyone was. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Is it already in there? Nope, it's not there yet. Oh, well, Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are.
What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him.
So, the court has now heard a precis of the case.
Can I examine? Oh, I can't flip it yet. Yeah, there's nothing on here that indicates where anyone was. I can't flip this yet, apparently. Yes. At the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we're looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhoda.
Yes, Your Excellency?
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment.
I called this
waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court.
unsworn. You didn't swear him into court?
What?
Okay. Thing about swearing into court. If you don't actually swear them into court, that means they can't actually be punished for lying. Just a fun fact.
But I must warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
You know, the thing is, if that was an unsworn witness, I'm pretty sure legally this can't be accepted as evidence. I'm pretty sure you can only expect evidence like this from a witness if it was a sworn witness. What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or other, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? No. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba has said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the onset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Or are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. I'm just going to, one moment. I want to have this face framed. This is just a glorious expression. Sorry, I had to screenshot that. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with the proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
We do not claim this man. We demons do not claim this man as one of our own. Just staying for the record, we do not claim this man.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant, yes sir, no sir. Reporting for duty. Yes sir, no sir. It's a glorious name.
Myself, I find employers a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from an effervescence of our nation Nippon.
This game can't decide. This game can't decide if it wants to refer to Japan as Japan or if it wants to refer to Japan as Nippon. I'm pretty sure the actual Japanese for Japan is Nihon. Nihongo. Yeah, Nihon is the Japanese for Japan. That's correct.
And conduct many a trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Corrector, at your service.
Yeah. No, not chess. Not chess. Not chess. You can play table tennis on it. Oh, you can play table tennis on that. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always post-noon, naturally.
And not infrequently, I converse with interested parties regarding the cures with which I take my business. Yeah. Yeah, it also just can't decide which one it wants to use, though. So maybe this is just set in a time period where they were switching between. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Well, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. He's a civilian. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. Welcome back in. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir! Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most... acerbic? Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. I don't even know what that word means. He's vibrating. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At the precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. And from the back! How cowardly, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, abscond precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment? You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim? Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! The wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes! All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. Once again, Ryunosuke, why? Why? That's why. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting, I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. That's not a good enough reason to pick up a weapon off the floor, Ryunosuke. You get his attention and point at it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there was a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring the despicable student to justice. Certainly. The testimony the court just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. You don't need to raise your hand, Ryunosuke. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to cross-examination. You don't need to raise your hand, Ryunosuke.
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
How did he know? He can see you! He can probably hear you!
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time.
I don't think you're allowed to do that, Ouchie.
The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Asuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination.
Tongue-tied.
Okay. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright. This is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements.
How?
You didn't fire the gun. Which means that what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right. Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the defense witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Oh, alright then. It's all or nothing. Okay.
Yes!
Yes. You don't need to wait for permission, Ryunosuke. Well, we're waiting. I don't have the clip on hand. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Not insubordination? Just subordination? Okay. Pushing some photographic print in my mustache. I don't think he's close enough to do that. Hey, inconsistency, sir! Use your big boy words, Ryunosuke. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there's no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
So frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. You know, I know you're trying to save this, but Ryunosuke's body language is just betraying you, Kazuma. Kazuma? What?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic prints presented by the defense. That there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant, yes sir, no sir. Yes sir, what, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. And from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. You might need to get those military-grade eyes checked. No, sir. But no! That just can't be! Why not, cadet? Because... Take a closer look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, what? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly. There is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir.
What?
The last testimony the court heard had proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Yes Sir, No Sir, did not see the defendant firing the gun at all.
That's absurd.
To be fair, all Ryunosuke saw was a forehead of the baby. So, I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. You get him, Kazuma. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial. Just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Roll credits. but I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, who was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either?
Myself? I've already been quite clear. A gunshot interested me not.
I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy
On the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure.
Treasure?
Indeed! The Hoyera Koban! My prize coin!
Just. I don't think the best. I don't know how to actually make it so I can't. So the text box is hidden on controller. Is it in options? Oh, no, not an option then, I guess. Then, literally, the only way I can show you is by doing this. But I don't think slamming a different priceless artifact against the desk is the best way to complain about losing a priceless artifact.
On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop. Rasus pay. No,
Alright, transparency. Okay. Yeah. No. I'll just have to turn on if I want to show something. Because I don't like how that looks. In the hope of beating a rich diner who might like to buy it from you?
On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I proffered my holy treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find? I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, well, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Korban vanished? Hunting around on the table I was. In case, mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my abscond Hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Then why are you here? Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
That eventful day, the precious Holy Korban was lost to me.
This man cared more about a coin than he did about the fact that someone literally had died right next to him.
No doubt.
Some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness's testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? That sounded like a fucking villager noise.
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled to a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back.
What?
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
we've just proven they cannot be trusted to give a testimony. Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there was only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryosuke Naruhodo.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify once again. The court invites the testimonies to witness once again. You will fully explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
Oh. Hi, Gracie. It's clear as Kiriko Glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir! Once again, sir! Waiting signals to testify, sir! What if we Google something? Kiriko Glass. Okay. Kiriko glass, Edo Kiriko is a type of cut glass. And I am going to quickly save as an image. Oh. Sorry. I'm going to quickly save this as an image, and where's show and stream? Because I'm going to quickly just well, while translucent, I wouldn't really call this clear. Correct, Hassan. I wouldn't really call this clear. Then again, that is honestly quite accurate for the rest of this case. So. Excuse me, but there seems to be something, or someone, peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Idol. I don't know, sir. It would seem those stamps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Idol, attention! Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment of the fight was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Almost Christmas means it's not Christmas. I haven't even reached that case in the original Ace Attorney, but I know it. It's a meme. Memes.
Yes. Pointing his gun at the foreign man he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that he was the only personnel present.
Indeed. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Okay, just repeating it that many times makes it look suspicious. I know why it's suspicious, and the game's revealed why it's suspicious, but just saying it that many times makes it seem suspicious, dude. Therefore, no one other than the black-haired uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly. Wait,
That's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all! Please, that's enough of these outbursts already.
there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. You are not here to listen to your fantasies.
Then why are we listening to yours, Ouchie?
It is evidence beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, Counsel?
Indeed. The table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set.
Certainly. Based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. Okay. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. I'm gonna quickly. Okay, that I'm gonna use. The fork looks completely unused. Oh, wait. Oh. Here's the indiscrepancy. Okay, yeah. However, I'm pretty sure that's later. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. That's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him! It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain on time after all. Witnesses' testimonies we have just heard leave no room for further doubt.
These are very sensitive political times. As we all know, the ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takeuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. Oh, this is just a mood. I need to screenshot this as well. This is just a mood. Actually, gameplay. I just want a screenshot. Right, I just want to get a screenshot of this. I just want to get a screenshot of this for later as well. How can this be happening? Okay, that's... Let's turn back up. Okay. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Oh, what's this? What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes.
And now it's your chance to expose it. To draw out the truth in your cross-examination. Should we make those shots of Ryunosuke just emotes on the server? I kind of want to make those reactions of Ryunosuke as emotes on the server. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness. But make it quick, understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
One minute. Okay. Can I go back far enough? If you don't call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We will not hear any more. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. And all the way down, rules can be so unbending at times. You need to make your mind up, Ouchie. You need to make up your mind. Minds need to be made up here. Time for cross-examination. The true culprit. Yeah.
Yes!
No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of an uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so.
Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked.
Okay. Did you?
Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
How could I?
And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink.
Not really, you've presented no evidence.
So there you have it.
Have what? Tension! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman.
I think that says it all, don't you? Let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in the moment in this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so? Correct, Hassan.
Okay. I think I just have to press everything, don't I?
Yes!
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. I've told you already. It's not like I picked it up off the floor.
Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away.
I just finished drinking my coffee. I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed the gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet. So I picked it up. Still don't know why. And at exactly that moment,
Bang!
I still don't know why he decided picking up the gun was a good idea. A gunshot rang in my ears. All of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry, what do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated the testing predicament. Whereas conversely,
I failed to pick up the carbine from the floor and find myself in equally testing predicament as a result.
anyway, the fact remains myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I am growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Only there'd been more people at the diner there at the time, and someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course, the place was almost empty. That's what you'd expect.
Certainly. 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat.
Actually, some people do eat. Some people do eat lunch at like 2. I'm pretty sure Gold sometimes eats lunch at 3.
I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency. There was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visit. It would appear the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
At a clinic. Yes. There would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th of November, noon to past 1 p.m.
The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke?
Well, it's so hard. It is hard to see how it could be related, really.
Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence, if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as an evidence or not? Ask for it to be submitted.
Yes!
You don't need to raise your hand. If I may, I'd like to ask for the medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds? This court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurants are of no concern. Bullshit.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request of the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the official record.
Victim's medical report card has been entered into the court record.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first.
Right.
I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like. But it is only the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, correct, Hassan?
Yes!
Why can't I examine the medical report card? Okay.
Yes!
Okay, let's press here. So, you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't it interesting? Ah. And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can certainly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. Meal for one.
No. The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Don't know, okay.
Yes!
Yes. Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, that's just not possible. Fortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He was an unsworn witness, so his testimony cannot be taken as proof in a court of law. He also said the victim was alone. That's right.
Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof.
We have proof.
And if no such proof exists, do I have access now? Nope. The prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information for now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A, and you can take a closer look at the piece of evidence in question. Use right stick up, right stick left, right stick down, and right stick right. Just use the symbol of the right stick, we'll figure it out from there. Rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles by using left stick up, left stick left, left stick down, and left stick right. Okay. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that you may have missed before. Okay, the fact that characters always mention these UI things implies they're aware they're in a video game, which is freaky. Either that or they just know Ryunosuke sees the world like this. The crosshairs start to pulsate. Press A to investigate further. Also, the implication is that Ryunosuke does see the world like this, but he just doesn't learn this shit, and they have to keep reminding him every few years. So, partner, I think you should take a close look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Yes. Okay. It says Hotta Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. Hold up, what? How have you only ever had one cold in your life, Ryunosuke? And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have only had one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Oh. It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment. That's why. We're a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you're dead, there's be no point. So, don't like doctors then. Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine and give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. With a bad case of stubbornness, no less. For which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Open up. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Wait, we gathered that bit, funny enough, Kazuma. Ah. And there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Does this mean can I turn this? Well, that was unexpected. I don't think I'm supposed to get this till later. What is? Look. Do you see? It says the witness's name here, Satoru Hosonaga. Yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here. Oh, Weasel. I was just curious if we had that already or not. I believe it's dining all by himself. I need to press on that specifically, I believe. Yeah. It's also interesting to note that how long laughing gas has been used for pain relief.
Yes!
Because I'm pretty sure that's still used nowadays. You don't need to raise your hand. Well, I think, What are you wittering, lad? You call yourself a lawyer? No, I call myself a nervous wreck. I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Sorry, quickly had to take a more drink of my tea. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you don't need to do that, by the way. You know exactly what it is you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. Thanks for the advice. Is it our first? No, not yet. Correct, Hassan. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. Shut up, Ouchie. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
Not how that works! But that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we've finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witnesses' testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. The medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else beside this pill.
Okay.
There is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated the crime.
Okay. This medical report has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that?
What? Your outburst half petrified me, boy.
You're a prosecutor.
Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because what our clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, Cadet? He had orders not to eat. So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours. Post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't!
Correct, Hassan. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No! Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of anesthetic. Expertly done, partner.
What is this nonsense? You little upstart! These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Why can't you follow logic? I don't know, Kazuma. The investigation games did prove logic is a superpower in your universe.
How dare you!
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have been turned. Oh, how the turntables. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes! Most definitely. So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright. The answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Showing them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been an as yet unknown third party. Technically, this one is right for that particular steak, but an as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. when the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Casimir?
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
He would break Ryunosuke out of prison. Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you. I do not worry about the qualms of dead men walking.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us. Oh. What? What did you just say? Correct-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders. No, that's what Nosa said. No, hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What? I pressed A, not X. Game?
What is the meaning of this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair?
Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order. Counsel, explain what's going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! Prosecution knows nothing of this.
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say there was one to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence. There are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any idea about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence the witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. How? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail. Found a new clue as a result. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you, the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait! Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this! I swear to every Shinto god! I knew nothing!
And what does the defense have to say about this?
Well, Your Excellency,
No time to think.
I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head.
Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is Satoru Hosonaga.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make the witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter couldn't not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit the court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence. I love like it's still called Waiter's Business Card, even though we know he's no longer a waiter.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card. That's of interest. You mean the front of the card? I beg your pardon? Perhaps I should have said the front? Yes. It's the front of the back of the Ryunosuke. Just say flip the card over. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would someone please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Oh, Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession. But surely that... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't mention of this before? Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? Why did you not investigate your own evidence? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen a foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Oh. Inspector Hosonaga? Hello. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh. Well.
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course.
Here you are.
Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over the business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would the detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? You know, police detectives having really bad salaries is a staple in Ace Attorney, unfortunately. Poor Gumshoe. Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get the job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. Fine, I'll go back up so you can get a screenshot. You can get a screenshot if you wish now, Yin. That should be long enough. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But she will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. That is indeed true.
Clearly, you would also have been aware of this person's presence, being served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required those witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. He just shot the judge.
As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, a gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So, the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect? Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? What UMay University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the Medical Facilities Research Laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jezeel Brett. Don't even know if that's a real name or not. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of the university's medical facility. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I raised all evidence of the lady's presence at the scene. Save point. We save anywhere. There isn't a save point. We save anywhere we wish outside of trials cases. And ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. I think before the next testimony is when we're going to stop. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. There's one in this case? I thought those weren't to the second case. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly crucial premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
Oh, shut up!
But, Your Excellency! That would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Council.
Ah,
I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings in my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Jezzael Brett and escort her to the courtroom with utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the Police Bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem? Nothing will get in my way. What's that? Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student Jezzael Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
yes! Your Excellency!
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Okay. There it is, okay. This will be the save point then. To be fair, I did say before the next, Oh, okay, I made it to the start of episode 4, so I did 3 episodes. But I have met, Mr. Shalooms. He is glorious. Okay. And that is, however, that's... Oh, come on. Okay. Exit game. Back to title, actually, so you still have the music while we're just chatting. Yeah, not even tuberculosis will stop him. I think he should let him stop him a little, though, because he really should go see a doctor. I have concerns about Inspector Hosonaga. I have concerns. Yeah. Oh. I've already saved. Yes, I don't want to save. Okay, there we go. Now you've got the music. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun getting to watch play a bit of Ace Attorney. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope my terrible voice acting was sufficient. I had fun. I had fun. I had fun. My throat did not. Yeah. I'm going to go take as big of an icy drink as I can. To make it hurt less. Well, it's not really hurt, it's more dried out, I guess, is the word. Rather dried out. So, I'm going to go change that with as big of a drink I can find. But yeah, I'll see you later. Bye!